Hi, it's Chris at the Quilter's Nook, and it's time for another Studio 180 design technique. And today we're going to talk about stacked squares, commonly known as the economy block. And this is what we're going to end up making today. So it's a square in a square in a square. Kind of fun unit to make. And we're going to make it 6-inch finished. So what we're going to start with is making this the center of our 6-inch finished block. Normally when we do our square in a square units, we have to pre-trim this center before we add our triangles, but we're not going to do that this time. And there's a reason for that, so I'll show you that here in a minute. But we're going to start with a 3.5-inch block for our center. We have two 3.5-inch blocks for our triangles. We're going to cut those apart corner to corner. And just like we've done with our other square in a squares, put your square on top of your triangle, right sides together. Sew, put it on the other side, and sew, press open, and then put on our other two triangles. So we end up with a nice square in a square block. So now we're going to use our We're going to call this the A side of our square squared tool. And we're going to use the center square for a 6-inch finished block. Because that's what we're creating, is the center of our 6-inch finished block. You will notice that there are hash marks. Those hash marks are going to go in our points. So I'm going to turn this so that you can see it. Okay, let's see, get that squared up there. There we go. So we have our center square for 6-inch finished block, so we have room to trim all the way around, and our hash marks are where our points are. So that helps you keep everything nice and straight. So I'm going to turn this around so I can trim it. And there we go. That's pretty good. So you're going to trim up and across. Turn it around, and we're going to do the same thing, plus we have our square up line here at the outside edge of our block. Okay, so everything is lined up along the outside edges. Our tick marks are still in the corners, and we're going to trim. So now we have a squared up center for our block. So now we're going to take another square, two squares, and these I believe are 4 1/4 inches. Okay, two squares at 4 1/4, cut once diagonally, and we're going to create another round on our square squared unit. Right sides together, just like we've done before. So on the other side, press out. Put them on the other two sides and press out so that we get this unit. This is going to be our finished block. And like we've done before, we always have the 6s, since this is the finished size of our block. Those X's are going to sit right in your corners. You have room to trim all the way around the outside. Turn this around so I can trim it. Line those back up. And we're going to go up one side, across the top, turn him around. And with this is the biggest size that this tool will do. So the bottom edge of the fabric is going to sit at the bottom edge of your tool. Your lines are in your corners, lined up along the edge, and we'll trim those last two sides. And there you have a nice square in a square block. The fun part of this is this block right here. Look at all the different centers you could put in that block. You could put a Lemoyne, you could put 4-patch, you could do anything you wanted to. Make it your own. So that's the fun part of stacked squares, is that you can just create all sorts of fun little blocks to go in the center. And that is as simple as that. That is your stacked square or your economy block. And next time we will do birds of paradise. So we'll see you next week.